Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the Fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.
Oh, hi. It's Whiskey Wednesday. A fresh crack Whiskey Wednesday at that. I am fired up for this. I was gifted this bottle from my dad recently, and I was like, it is time to open this and start drinking it. So this is the Jimmy Russell 70th anniversary release from Wild Turkey in Kentucky. Jimmy Russell has been there for 70 years, which is insane. He just had a birthday. I think did he turn 90? It's crazy. What an absolute fucking legend. So, 101 proof, 50.5% alcohol. From what I can gather, this is, so Wild Turkey 101 is a blend of 6 and 8 year barrels, I think. This has an age statement that says 8 years, but I think they took the 8 year barrels and then blended some 9 year with it, which I think makes it different than regular Wild Turkey 101. I'm not 100% sure on that. I saw Wild Turkey 8 year in Japan when we were there, but I don't know what the difference between that and this would be. It's confusing. I have no idea. So I love all things Wild Turkey. I'm a big Wild Turkey fan. Wild Turkey 101 is one of my favorite pours ever. So I think MSRP on this is around $50. Where I'm at in Southern California, people are price gouging it, and they're trying to sell it for like $80 to $100. I don't know where my pop found this bottle, but I'm thankful that he did. So I'm fired up, stoked. Let's do it. So, is there anything else to say? I don't think so. This is, I've mentioned it before, drinking whiskey. I've noticed with myself, I'm not the biggest fan of like super long aged whiskeys. So I think something like this, a 10 year is like my sweet spot. And proofs for me that I really like are between, I've learned over the last almost 3 years, like between 107 and 120. That's like my wheelhouse. I love Wild Turkey 101 though, so it gives you plenty of, I think, bang for the proof. But yeah, I can smell this. Gosh, it smells great. It smells like apples and cinnamon. Some red fruit. It's oaky. It almost smells like a sugar cookie, just the regular sugar cookies, or like graham crackery. But yeah, there's so much cinnamon and apple. What did we drink last week? We drank the Pikesville, and I was talking about like apples and pears, like pie. This has like that kind of fall. I think of apples fall time for whatever reason. That kind of apple pie thing. Like those baking spices, cinnamon. It smells great. I've talked about neck pour is not my favorite. The first pour of a bottle, I don't always love it. But so far, so good with this. Cheers. Thanks, Pop. It sounds weird, but I always try and, like, first sip, have it all coat like the inside of my entire mouth, just to like kind of get acclimated to it. And then they say if you take another sip right after that, you get a lot of the flavors. This is really, really nice. A lot of what you smelled you're tasting. Apple pie, like apple cinnamon pie for sure. The heat is nice. I think this drink's above the proof. I mean, it's the first sip of whiskey I've had all week. But yeah, it just lingers. That cinnamon spice is there. Super like oaky, woody on the finish. Not crazy, but it's like very drying on my palate. But yeah, that like kind of sugar cookie thing, that sweetness is there. It's not overly sweet, but it feels oily on your palate. So much apple in this for me though. And cinnamon. This tastes like fall. This is really, really nice. If you can find this at MSRP, I think this is $50. I'd have no problem drinking this. Should you just be drinking Wild Turkey 101? Wild Turkey 101 is like $21 around here. I don't know, but we should find out. Shouldn't we? I mean, that's really the only way to do it. We did this when we had the Wild Turkey 12. This bottle's getting critically low. I didn't bring water because you know what? It's not that fucking serious. But I love the Wild Turkey bottles. They use the same shape bottle for all these. The Wild Turkey 12 looks exactly like this too. So this is a much more mellow nose, but air has been in this for, I've had this bottle for over a year probably. Yeah, this smells much more intense. Can you see that? This has like the cinnamon baking spices and apple, but it's way like cranked way down. Gosh, that's delicious. This to me has more caramel on the palate, and like it tastes smoky, like char, super oaky. This one is more dominant with like the cinnamon, that sugar cookie, apple pie kind of thing. This one's much more like charred barrel character. This has more of like a vanilla sweetness too. It's just crazy how different they smell. This right here for $22, I'm telling you, it's one of the best values in whiskey for my money. I mean, you could disagree, that's fine. This is so fucking good. Like when I'm drinking this next to a $50 bottle, I want to do this blind. I'm sure I'll do it at some point. Yeah, this one seems just, it's funny because they're the exact same proof. It seems a bit more intense, but that could be with this having, you know, captured air in the bottle and been sitting there for a while. These are both great. If you can't get your hands on this for MSRP, don't freak out. Just drink this. So, yeah, this is really good though. I'm stoked I have this, and I'm stoked to share it with people. So, another Whiskey Wednesday in the books. You guys fans of these? Have you had this one? What do you think of it? If you've never had Wild Turkey 101, it behooves you to check it out. So, that's it. Appreciate you guys watching. See you soon. Cheers.
Thank you for coming behind the bar, in the arcade, all that shit.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the Fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.